May I have the honor to invite back on stage Ms. Dallal Slimani. She is the leader driving the sustainability topics with hands-on experience in developing and implementing circular economy principles in Europe for over 10 years. Presently, she is driving the global semiconductor business for Schneider Electric and bringing with her a wealth of successful track records in transformation and change management in complex environments while leading transversal, cross-functional and multicultural teams across various continents. She will share how Schneider Electric tackles Scope 3 emissions and leading WSG by example, topic on advancing supply chain towards a greener future. Shall we put our hands together to welcome Dallal Slimani.
Hello, everyone. Very happy to be here. I decided not to stand behind this one because you would not see me. So I'm going to be standing here. I'm very happy to be here with you guys and to be able to meet and to connect. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of a company that is more than 100 years old with a pretty massive manufacturing footprint like you guys. We have more than 200 industrial sites and a company that have been really leading the charge when it comes to sustainability. We lead the transformation internally for us. We lead the transformation with our suppliers and we lead the transformation with our customers and for our customers. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. I hope there will be a lot of questions after. So first of all, sustainability is very, very important for us. It's at the core of everything we do at Schneider Electric. We have started the transformation many, many years ago, already in 2005, and we have been continuously putting more and more ambitious objectives for us and milestones and delivering on these ones. So we are leading by example in our ecosystems, and we are also the digital partner for our customers when it comes to sustainability and efficiency. We are very, very proud to have been recognized by the Corporate Knights as one of the most sustainable companies in the world, and we have been in the Global 100 ranking of the Corporate Knights as one of the most sustainable companies in the world for 11 consecutive years, so very proud about this recognition. We have also many recognitions on our efforts in the transformation of our supply chain, the sustainability transformation. So we have been recognized in 2021 as #1 most sustainable supply chain in the world by GSSC. And we have gotten the maximum rating by Gartner on the sustainability, recognizing our sustainability efforts in the supply chain. So in Schneider Electric, of course, we have 2050 net zero commitments, but we have also commitments between now and 2050. So our ambition is to be carbon neutral in our operations by 2025. This is 3 years from now, and we are well moving forward towards this ambition, and we have a track record of delivering on our sustainability ambitions. We have also the ambition to divide by 2 the CO2 emissions of our top 1,000 suppliers, and I'm going to describe a little bit later how we approach this topic, as it's not so easy when we start to speak about Scope 3. And we have also the ambition to help our customers to save up to 800 million tons of CO2 emissions between 2018 and 2025. So 800 million tons of CO2 emissions, what does it represent? That's driving around the globe in an average car 800 million times, so a lot of CO2 emissions. By 2030, our ambition is to be net zero in our operations and to reduce our Scope 3 emissions by 35%. 2040, we want to be carbon neutral and to end across the value chain, Scope 1, 2, and 3. And 2050, we have the ambition to become net zero across the value chain. Also here, covering Scope 1, 2, and 3. And when we speak about sustainability, when we speak about ESG in general, we really go beyond the scope, and we have an outreach that is beyond just ourselves and our operations. I mentioned our commitment to our suppliers and to our customers in terms of neutrality. We also engage all our employees in the whole organization towards carbon neutralities and taking actions and leadership for sustainability transformation in our operations in various areas, manufacturing, offices, logistics, and also R&D when it comes to the design of our products. And we are committing to our investors to have 80% of green revenues, and we are also very conscious of our responsibility and our role as a corporate citizen. And we have different outreach programs, some of them, mentioning just a few of them, we will be helping 50 million people by 2025 to have access to green electricity. And we will be also training 1 million people on energy management. And we have also the Schneider Electric Foundation, where we also support startups and other companies to develop new technologies that gives access and availability of renewable energies. So if we zoom a little bit on the way we approach our suppliers, I will start by telling you what we do to decarbonize our scope 3, how to engage our suppliers. So first of all, we have a sustainable procurement vision. Really, sustainability is at the heart of the decision-making and supplier selection or the selection process. We have a process that is based on governance, social, and environment, and we contribute to the UN Global Sustainable Development initiatives. And we have different goals and programs that we drive in our supply chain. So we have the Zero Carbon Project that I'm going to describe to you in a few minutes. We have also been implementing, and we keep implementing some circular initiatives in our supply chain: green material, sustainable packaging, repairability of our and the lifetime of our products, recyclability, second life of our products, and so on and so on. Of course, our products are environmentally friendly. We are compliant with REACH, ROHS. We don't procure materials from conflict areas, and so on. And we also abide by decent working conditions and human rights. My point here being sustainability and social responsibility is really at the core of our supplier strategy. And sustainability is one lever that has an impact on the strategic status of our suppliers, yes or no, the decision to engage in business with some suppliers, and the decision to stop doing business with some suppliers who are not serious about the sustainability and the engagement that we want them to take and to deliver on when it comes to sustainability. So it's a very important topic for us, and it's really at the heart of our process when it comes to supplier management. So the Zero Carbon Project. So I told you just a little bit earlier that our ambition is to divide by 2 by 2025 the CO2 emissions of our top 1,000 suppliers, and to be net zero across all the value chain by 2050. This means that we have to engage our scope 3, our suppliers, in the decarbonization journey. And we realized after a few years that it was a little bit of a wishful thinking to think that just by asking the suppliers to decarbonize, just by telling them, we will not be able to do business with you if you're not serious on it, that the transformation will happen. So we have developed a program where we help them decarbonize, where we put together a platform for our suppliers to help them to decarbonize. And how does this look like? So a few steps in order to go through this program. We have selected our top 1,000 suppliers based on various criteria. And we have asked them to commit to decarbonization by a certain time. We started by onboarding these suppliers. Who is interested? Who wants to continue doing business with us? Who wants to onboard in this project, to take the commitment and sign? Second point, we need to do capacity building. And there we have provided a different set of educations. More than thousands of people have been joining our educations webinars directed to our suppliers to explain what is sustainability about, what is transformation for the sustainability about, what is the renewable energy, where do they need to start, where do they need to look at. And we also providing them with the tools in order to get visibility into their CO2 footprint and know where to start. And then we have been working also with our suppliers and with the help with our sustainability business experts in driving, identifying the solutions that will allow them to decarbonize, and also helping them to drive this and implement these solutions based on our Schneider Electric offers or not. Okay? And then after that, of course, it's very important to track. So you know where is your, you have the commitment, you know what is your starting point, you know which solutions you want to implement and where, and then you need to track progress. And here also we provide the tools and the methodologies for this, for our suppliers in order to track the progress of their sustainability roadmap. So the program has been kicked off in H1 2021. So the people you see on the picture, that's our Chief Strategy and Sustainability Officer, our Chief Supply Chain Officer, our Chief Procurement Officer, and the head of our sustainability business, who will be with his team enabling the transformation and supporting the suppliers. We have done H1 until beginning of H2 a series of assessments on the carbon maturity. We have sent surveys to our different suppliers in order for us to calibrate the level of efforts and start to make a difference between some suppliers that are more advanced that would require help maybe on the execution and looking at the different solutions, or some suppliers that are really at the beginning of the journey that would require more coaching and more support to start and to move forward. We have, as I mentioned, made a series of technical trainings, onboarding the relevant stakeholders at our suppliers. We put in place monthly community calls, also ask them to declare their CO2 footprint to us. And right now we are here in between CO2 declaration of the suppliers and ambition and actions implementation. And already now we are very proud to see that there has been a 5% average CO2 reduction by 11% of our suppliers. So still a lot to go, but we are already seeing progress. So now that I told you what we have done in our own supply chain, with our own suppliers, I would like to tell you what we do with our customers and for our customers. So the conversation, so I'm going to speak about the Energize project. The Energize project is the answer to decarbonizing the scope 3 of the pharmaceutical industry. So similar situation as what we have been discussing today in the semiconductor industry. The conversation started by some big pharma companies coming to us and telling us, hey, you know, we are moving forward in our sustainability transformation and so on, but you know, we are a little bit stuck when it comes to scope 3. We don't have control, we don't have information, we have a lot of suppliers, we don't know where to start, taken by one by one. There is less scale in order to have access to renewable energy, PPAs and so on. And we realized that there has been many of them coming to us, and we realized that we actually could be the platform to facilitate an industry-wide scope 3 decarbonization. Before I go a little bit further, I'm going to ask you to watch a video. right, so what is the Energize program? A little bit more meat to the presentation. So what you can see on the right side of the slide are the different pharmaceutical companies who have signed on for this program, who are willing and keen to decarbonize their scope 3. A lot of smart people, as you can see, like in the semiconductor industry. And what was interesting to see, and what made sense for this industry, is that when you look at the supply base of the pharma, there is a lot of shared suppliers. You know, same suppliers serve in the different companies. So it's definitely made sense to be a platform and to build a platform for the aggregation of the demand of these suppliers in order to give them access to renewables. So what was the second point that was interesting is that, as I was mentioning earlier, the suppliers taken one by one, the scale of the demand does not allow them in any way to have access to PPAs, but aggregating this demand across the industry collaboratively would provide with the scale that is needed to have access to PPA markets. So the solution is the signature of this program, the Energize program, that is across the industry for access to renewable energy. Schneider Electric is the platform for that. I don't know if you heard of the NEO network. The NEO network is the biggest marketplace in the world for access to renewable energies. It brings all the stakeholders that are involved in the process of having access and adopting renewable energies, taking the supply and the demand, and it's orchestrated by Schneider Electric. And also we have been recently recognized as the #1 orchestrator of PPAs in the world, and we are very proud of that. And results right now, where are we on the Energize program? 800 suppliers registered for the informational sessions, the 2 weeks. And parallelly with the onboarding of the supplier in the program, when we are driving right now educational programs with the different stakeholders in the pharmaceutical industry. We are doing the same thing for Walmart to decarbonize their scope 3. We are doing the same thing for PepsiCo. And we are currently in discussion to do the same thing for another high-tech industry. If you guys are interested, you are welcome to reach out. One thing that we have learned when we have been working on the decarbonization of our own scope 3 and of the one for our customers is there are 3 steps roughly that you need to go through. First one is assessing. You want to build a strategy and prioritize, and very, very important, you want data. So you want a robust roadmap for decarbonization. You want to assess the carbon and the sustainability maturity of your suppliers to know where you're going from and how you move forward. You want to have a data plan, and you want to have a vision. And for the data plan, we have also a set of tools that we use in our own supply chain, but we also provide to our customers and our suppliers, which is some kind of control tower for the sustainability, an enterprise level platform that will aggregate all the sustainability KPIs and resources in one place that could be used across sites globally and give you full visibility on your sustainability indicators, emissions by site, comparison between different sites, taking into account different parameters in order to identify additional levers for decarbonization, but also easy to access report that could be used to report to the investors, to the people, to the employees, and to the communities. Second point, very, very important, engaging the suppliers in this program beyond just the fact of signing. There needs to be a level of sponsorship from the company who wants to drive this transformation in their scope 3 to make sure to keep the momentum and to keep the engagement of the suppliers. There has been some comments earlier. This is not a short-term transformation. This is not a quick win transformation. This is really something that we need to drive in the mid and long term. But there is many things that we can already do right now, and the technology exists. So this is the good news. And then at the end, acceleration. You know, once you sign the agreement for PPAs or for energy efficiency programs or whatever tools and levers, vehicles that make sense, you want to make sure to monitor and to make sure that the transformation is moving forward, and then you keep innovating within your value chain for decarbonization. So this was all for me. I think I managed the timing not so bad. We are Schneider Electric. We are your digital partner for sustainability and efficiency. We have a track record in delivering on transformation for sustainability in energy management and industrial efficiency in the semiconductor industry and in other industries. And very happy to engage in a conversation with you guys around sustainability. And I welcome you also to join our website, EcoStructure for Semiconductor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Dallal, for your sharing. We do have a lot of questions for you indeed. Okay, as you can see in here on the screen, shall we head on to the first question? Schneider Electric is doing a lot of interesting work in sustainability across industries, including semiconductors. Any top experiences you can share with us?
Yes, I mean, I mentioned what we are doing for Walmart, for example. I mean, Walmart has this ambition to decrease a gigaton of CO2 emissions from their supply chain. And we have been engaging with them on different levels, some on access to renewable for their own operation, but also structuring a program like this for their suppliers. We are also engaged, I cannot mention any names, but some of you are here in the room, at least the companies are here in the room. We are advising on the strategy to have access to renewable energy that is completely brand agnostic, solution agnostic, and some other companies also here in the room. We are helping to sign PPAs or have access to AACs or RECs in different parts of the world. This is the sustainability advisory renewable energy expertise that we have. Some other customers, we are really working with them on the efficiency of and the energy efficiency of their facility of the fab. We are engaged in some programs with some of our customers, also some of them here in the room, on their smart facility programs, how to drive even further energy optimization in the fab. We know that energy is very, very sensitive and critical in the semiconductor industry. Any power outage can cost millions of revenue, even if it is for a few minutes. So what we see consistently in this industry is that it's often oversized when it comes to the electrical distribution, and we don't want to take risks. So we have been working with many of our customers, providing our software, digital solutions that will allow them to still have access to some pools of energy efficiency without compromising on the reliability and the quality of the power of the fab. That has an impact on the manufacturing process and on the top line.
Thank you for sharing. We do have a next question. How do companies motivate the Scope 3 suppliers to participate in sustainability efforts?
So I will tell you how we do it in Schneider Electric. We were very clear with our suppliers. This is what it takes to do business with us. Okay, it's a hard discussion, especially when it comes to some very long-term suppliers for many years, but it's a necessary discussion if you want to have an impact and if you want to decarbonize. Now, it's not enough, it's not easy. We can see even also in the programs where suppliers have signed that, you know, there needs to be a level of continuous engagement, sometimes carrot and sticks approaches, but not my preferred one. But really, this is how we do it at Schneider Electric. And I would like to send the question back to you guys also. Your customers are taking commitments to be net zero by 2050 and so on. What is your incentive in this case when your customers are asking you to decarbonize, to join and drive this transformation?
Right, okay, the next question for you. How do you measure progression across all your suppliers in the Zero Carbon project?
So we have a tool called Resource Advisor, actually, that we use internally and that is also we provide to our customers that gives you visibility. In fact, this is a very important question. One of the very, very important levers when it comes to sustainability transformation is the data, and to digitize and have visibility on where is the consumption and how it is progressing. And the tools exist. I mentioned the one from Schneider Electric called Resource Advisor, your ERP for sustainability, or your control tower for sustainability. And everything is aggregated there, and it gives you visibility. It gives you a report. It also gives you visibility as to how you are progressing within your roadmap. Very complete solution. If you want to know more, feel free to reach out or to check us out on our website.
Thank you. All right, next question. What's Schneider's biggest challenge to fully become carbon neutral? And when would you achieve this goal?
So, lots of challenges. Our ambition is to become carbon neutral by 2025. If the question is about our own operations, that's 2025. That's 3 years from now. I mean, we have been around for many years. Okay, we have a footprint that is existing. We are not going to tear down our factories to build new ones. So how do you turn a factory, a distribution center, and so on, that is many, many years old into a carbon neutral site? And we have done it. Actually, we have the example of our Lexington factory in the United States that is more than 50 years old and that is now recognized by the World Economic Forum and smart manufacturing and sustainability. So it is possible. So this is one of the challenges. You know, people will tell you, yeah, but you know, you need to build a new fab, you need to do this from scratch and so on, but this is not true. We can do a lot already with our existing assets. Another roadblock that is pretty consistent, I would say, we face it obviously, but we see it also across industries when it comes to sustainable transformation, is that some companies get stuck in planning. So there is a Bain report that was published last year where we see that more than 30% of companies have missed, across industries, have missed their sustainability goals that they set for 2020. And usually the roadblocks that we see is that we get stuck in planning, we are not able to move from strategy to execution. And as such, it's very, very important to make sure that the sustainability strategy is embedded in your business strategy and to make sure that to put in place a robust governance that is at the C-level and to make sure that all the layers in your organization and the divisions in your organization are onboarded in this transformation. We are very lucky at Schneider Electric because the sustainability impulse is really coming from the C-suite. Our CEO is a very big inspiration for all of us when it comes to sustainability and social responsibility, and it's really resonating across the divisions in Schneider Electric. I can testify myself because I spent most of my career in Schneider Electric in the supply chain side, in manufacturing, in logistics. I know the struggle. And I recently moved to a sales organization, and I see the same message resonating exactly as when I was in the supply chain. So this is very, very important.
Indeed, thank you for sharing the challenges. We have some time to take one more question. We do have 4 votes for this question. Most initiatives comes with a cost. How does Schneider deal with suppliers who are willing to participate in your initiative but with higher cost?
Okay, this is an interesting one. So first of all, we have been driving the transformation for many years and we have been growing the profitability of the company. I invite you to check our financial reports, to check our equity story, and to check how we have been progressing in our sustainability transformation. So yes, you can say initiatives taken one by one, taken investment on solar panels that would depreciate over 10, 15, 20 years and so on. Yes, there is an impact on the P&L, but again, sustainability has an impact, and not driving sustainability has an impact on your P&L. Sustainability is about reducing waste. Waste is a cost on your bottom line. Rising energy prices is impacting your bottom line. Energy insecurity is impacting your top line. So I think that it's very easy to get stuck and to fall in the trap at looking at different initiatives and saying in the cost, the cost is expensive, how will I manage? I think that we need to look at it differently. What is the cost of not implementing? Personally, at Schneider Electric, sustainability is very important, and I can speak of myself. When I was plant manager, I had a sustainability target. I had to reduce my energy consumption by minimum 5% every year. I had to reduce the water consumption. I had to work on zero waste to landfill, of recyclability of the waste, and so on and so on. And it is as important as my financials, as safety, quality, and service level of everything that comes out of the factory I was managing. One thing that we use also in Schneider Electric to drive financial decisions is we put a cost on the CO2, 130 euro CO2 kilo. So we embed this also in the financial planning and the estimation of the ROI and so on. But what is the cost of not doing anything? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dalla, for answering the questions. And I think the rest of the questions, perhaps they will grab you during the break time for that. Thank you once again. Shall we give a big hands to Ms. Dalla once again?